Hello my friends and welcome to Master Coding channel. We will start a new series about JSON, RESTful API, RETROFIT and other libraries for mastering and learning JSON parsing from zero to hero. After the poll that we have posted on our channel, we decided to start first with Android, RETROFIT and RESTful API course, and then we will upload the others later. So, if you are excited to learn coding in a professional way based on real university schedule and solve real exams, you came to the right place. Hit subscribe and like to join our family and push us forward to make new tutorials free. Maybe you have heard about JSON. So what is JSON? JSON stands for JavaScript Object Notation. I think you didn't understand what this, but till now we are going to master this in a professional way, so don't worry. JSON is a lightweight data interchange format. JSON is self-describing and easy to understand. So the syntax of JSON is derived from JavaScript Object Notation syntax. Data is in a name value pairs. So JSON, till now, JSON data is stored in a key value or name value pairs. This is very important. Data is separated by commas. Curly braces hold objects, square braces or brackets hold arrays. So we will see a real example about this. But till now, let's learn about the syntax, the name value syntax. JSON data is written as name value pairs. A name value pair consists of a field name in double quotes, exactly like this, name and the value, followed by a column, followed by a value. So name and a column, and we have the value of the name. So this is a name value pair. This is the JSON data simple block. Now, XML versus JSON. I would recommend using JSON despite of XML, but we will concentrate on using JSON in parsing data because it's very simple and very light and easy to understand and easy to parse. We will see later how this description and the differences work. Both JSON and XML can be used to receive data from a web server. So think about why we are using JSON or XML. We need them to parse data from the server. So this is the format of XML. This is the data of written in XML, and this is the data of JSON. It is more simple, more easy to read, and more easy to parse. JSON data types. In JSON, values must be one of the following data types. We have 6 data values of JSON. Remember, guys, name, value. So we are now thinking and considering the values in our with the data type and the values section in JSON data. Now, the value would be a string, a number, an object, an array, a boolean, or null. So we will take everyone with a very good example on it. So guys, till now you understand what is JSON and what is the basics of JSON. It is a key or a name value data type. The values would be a JSON string first. So what is JSON string? Strings in JSON must be written in double quotes. So the name here, this is the name, and here is the value, which is a string called John. Okay, this is the first type, guys. Now, the second type is called JSON numbers. So numbers in JSON must be an integer or a floating point. we have a name here and the value is 30. It can be 30. You see guys, the string is in between the quotation and 30 is without these double quotations. The third type of values in JSON could be a JSON object. So what is JSON object? Name, value, name, integer, and the value, the name here could be a null. So this is the JSON objects are surrounded by curly braces. This is the whole thing called a JSON object. This is everything in this between these curly braces is called a JSON object. So the third type of values could be a JSON object, could be like this and having many data and many properties. The JSON objects are written in a key value pairs. This is the key value, key value, key value. Keys must be strings and values must be a valid JSON data type: string, number, object, array, boolean, or null. You see guys, even this is an object, we can make an object inside the object of JSON. This is called nested objects. So the keys and the values are separated by a colon. Each key value pair is separated by a comma. I think they are hard to memorize, but on practice we are going to master them and we are going to be professional. Okay guys, don't worry. So the name, as a review, this is a JSON object between curly braces, is an object of JSON, and we have the key value, key value, key value. Okay guys, this is the JSON in a summarized way. Now, in order to access, before we start, just for information, we are going to take the JSON objects and the JSON arrays in a deep way, because that would be our work. So I will concentrate and go deep in every step of these two types in order to understand them well and be professional in and understand every concept later on when we are going to make new and real apps in Android Studio. Okay guys, so accessing the object's value. Remember, we are still working in the JSON object. Okay guys, this is the third type of values in JSON. Accessing the object values. You can access the object values by using the dot notation. So a very quick example. This is, as I told you, this is a JSON object. This is, we see the curly braces. We have the name John, age 30, car null. So you can also access the object values by using the bracket, the bracket notation. But first step or first way, in order to access these objects, these properties, we could make that x equal my object dot name. So whenever I type this, I'm telling that, hey, the compiler, go and take from my object, which is a JSON object, and get it the name property, the name, and give me the value of the name. So you can access an object, you can access a JSON object by putting the JSON object and the key value. Okay, sorry, you can put it the key, and the value would be presented and accessed and may be written if you get it and if you want it. In other word, you can also, despite using x equal my object dot name or dot age or dot car, in order to access them and get these values, you can write it another way, that x equal my object. Between the bracket, we can use the bracket notation, and we specify the key here. Okay, guys, this is the way that we can access the JSON object. Nested objects. As I told you, you can create an object inside an object or JSON object. Here we have that my object having this as an object. So inside the cars, in spite of having null or anything, we can make an object also, object of having C1, C2, and C3. So cars, C1 is Porsche, C2 is Mazda, C3 is Golf. So you can access the nested JSON object by using the dot notation or bracket notation. As I told you in the first example, in order to access the object, JSON object, we can put x equal my object dot cars. My object dot name, I get John. But still we have a value here or an object here. So inside the x, we have my object dot cars dot c2. I need to access this. So in order to access the c2, we need to put my object cars, and we specify c2 in order to get the Mazda 2. Or in the same way, we can access it by brackets, my object dot cars and brackets c2 and inside the brackets. In order to modify an object, you can use the dot notation to modify any object in JSON object. So in the same way, in order of accessing the object, we just able to use that my object dot cars dot c2 and replace the value of c2, which is Mazda, with Ferrari. Okay, guys, in this way we can modify the object inside JSON. Now, JSON arrays. Similar to other programming languages, an array in JSON is a list of items surrounded in square brackets inside square brackets like this. Each item in the array is separated by a comma. So remember this. Each item is in the array is separated by a comma. So the array index begins with zero. The square brackets are used to declare JSON array. The JSON array are ordered list of values. The JSON array can store multiple value types, and the JSON array can store string, number, boolean, object, and other array inside JSON array. We can store array inside array, and in JSON array, values must be separated by comma. A real example, just arrays in JSON are almost the same as arrays in JavaScript. For example, given is a JSON document which contains a JSON arrays to the right, arrays right. So I have an object. You see, guys, you should start now configuring and remembering and realizing the objects and the JSON format. So don't worry, guys, we were like you. We were in a stage like you. So we learn from our experience, and we learn more and more, and we have universities and everything. All these knowledge we have put it in our YouTube channel and on our course on Udemy. So don't worry, guys, we are going to help you in a very important way. But please, watch every single video and don't skip any video, because these are chains, and we are going to be professional in a single and a smartest way and fastest way. So first of all, I need you to pause the video and realize where is the the JSON arrays, and where is the JSON object. Okay. After pausing, and maybe you are trying, you said yes, this is the JSON object. True. I know you are answering it true because you are a very good and smart smart person, because if you have subscribed to our YouTube channel and searching for codes and coders, you are smart enough to realize this is a JSON object. Just kidding, guys. It's very simple. Yes, it is. Here is the object, starting and the end. And inside the object, we have a name or key, a value, key, and a value, which is an array. Okay, guys? So this is an array of admin, editor, and contributor, which is the values inside an array. Get values from array. You can access the array values by using the index number. As I told you, my object dot writes and the index equal to 0, the output would be admin, because I am talking about the writes, and the array of index 0, which is the admin, so the output would be admin. Delete array value. Use the delete keyword to delete items from an array. Okay, so delete my object dot writes 1 would result in deleting the index, the value of index 1. Okay, guys, which is editor. Update the array value. Use the index number to modify an array. My object dot writes and index 1 would be blogger. So the editor here would be blogger after executing this line. Looping through an array values. We can access the array values by using a for in loop. This is a for in loop. For every item I, for every int I in object.writes, go and put or store my object.writes I in writes of index I, store them in X, and console.log X. This is the program output. You can use system.out.print if you are using Java. But till now, the concept is the same. We need to configure JSON and looping through a JSON array. So admin, editor, and contributor would be the output. Okay, guys? Multi-dimensional array. We came to the multi-dimensional array, so we can store an array inside another array. It's known as an array of arrays or multi-dimensional JSON array. This is an example, and name. This is the JSON object, the key value, and the key value, which is the value, is an array. And inside the array, there is an array 1 and array 2. So this is an array of arrays. Iterating over a multi-dimensional array is the same concept in Java or C++. A simple for loop to iterate over a multi-dimensional array in JSON would be for I int matrix.users. This I called it matrix here. I am named it as matrix, the variable, and I'm looping through the users of index I and index j, the row and column. The row, which is the first loop, and the column, which is the second loop, and printing out the program output. Okay, guys? In next video, we are going to learn about JSON parsing in Java and start parsing JSON. And later on, we will start learning about APIs, retrofit, volley, and other libraries. Okay, guys? See you in next videos. I hope you subscribe to our YouTube channels and subscribe and download Master Coding channel, Master Coding application to get all these written lessons if you want. And please rate us 5 stars on Udemy to get all source codes and free coupons for next courses. Thank you guys. See you in next videos.